Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I am of course your host, Jack Knives. And today I will be reviewing the Hulu exclusive Prey. In 1719, a young Comanche warrior named Naru wants to prove herself as a warrior, just like her brother Tabe. While tracking down deer, Naru comes across a weird, mysterious object in the sky, which she mistakes for a thunderbird, a sign that she will become a warrior. She just has to prove herself. Slowly, mysterious things start happening in the land around her, such as the bison start becoming skinned. This is all the works of a predator who does not see Naru as a threat, which could be its downfall. So first off, I will flat out say I'm kind of mixed about the Predator franchise. To be honest, I think the only good ones have been the first two. Every other movie after that has just never been good to me. Although I will say I did love the Predator versus Alien video game back in the 90s. The Predator has kind of gotten the short end of a stick, considering it's really an interesting concept. I mean, the concept of an alien race that just wants to hunt down the best fighters or the best warriors, there's so many things that you could do with that. And I think that this movie utilizes that for the first time since the very first Predator movie, where it's actually looking for a fight. And to put it in the primitive era of 1719, where most of it was stone weapons or bow and arrows, it was really a innovative concept that is executed fantastically. Now, I will say it doesn't have as much gore as the typical Predator movies, but honestly, it doesn't really bug me as much, considering, if you just have it for gore's sake, it's kind of there. But what I will say about this movie, which I was utterly shocked about, was how respectful it was to the Native American people, specifically the Comanche tribes. And the fact that they not only release the movie normally, but they actually have a version of the same movie with Comanche Native American dialect with the subtitles, which, by the way, I would highly recommend watching it in that form because it really does add more to the experience. At least it did for me personally. I watched both versions of it. Amber Midthunder, the actress who played Naru, she steals the show. And it's a very hard thing to play a character, especially a Native American character or a character of a specific race that's not just about their race. Like, to literally draw in the audience for an extended period of time to basically be the only sole voice for the audience to focus on is not something that really comes very easily for this kind of a movie, especially for a first-time actress like Amber Midthunder is. This is her first major standout role, and she really blew me away. I'm really hoping she gets more roles. She did an amazing job in this movie. Now, here are some downsides to the movie. First off, the biggest downside is, despite the practical effects, which are great, I love the practical effects. Heck, I don't even mind the new primitive redesign of the Predators because it looks like an ugly, disgusting creature, which is what the Predator was supposed to look like. I know we're kind of desensitized by what the Predator looks like because we're used to what the originals look like. But you got to remember, when the first movie came out and you saw the real face of the Predator, that was shocking to a lot of people because you did not expect it to look like that. And this movie kind of does the same thing. It just looks more gory and visceral and gross, and that's the reaction you need. But for all the practical effects, the big downside, because it's so jarring, is the CGI animals. And unfortunately, it does look not great for the animals. However, I'm willing to give it a little more slack because of the fact that certain things that involve you know, nature and like especially like bears, I'd much rather the actors be safe and use CGI bears than real bears. There's been too many animal abuse movies and too many movies where, you know, animals have gone crazy or whatever. And I'd much rather, yes, it would be better if they were there, but, you know, for what it is, it doesn't really affect the movie too much. I wish this had gotten a theatrical release because I could really see, like, especially the tracking scenes or the beauty of the nature or even like the fights and stuff. I could have seen that on the big screen, which would have added way more impact to it. I think it's better to see it in like a good surround sound with good picture quality. And like I said, I was utterly surprised with how much I really, really, really like this movie. I give Prey 4.5 out of 5. Have you seen Prey? Let me know in the comments down below. Till then, I'll see you next time.